And we'll see you with another update in about 60 minutes from now.
She's been one of the top women curlers in our country now for more than a decade. Marilyn Bodogh, who won the '86 Canadian and World Championship and then in 1996 repeated it with another Canadian and a second Worlds. But since '96, something has happened to Marilyn. Something has just gone out of focus with her game. Last year at the Scott, she struggled, and she's continued to play an up and down game since. So now as she goes into the 6th draw of women's play here in Brandon, which Marilyn will show up, the good or the bad? Well, things started out slowly this week for Allison Goring, but hey, now it's thumbs up. She lost her first 2 games, but she's won 2 of her last 3, and now Goring is right back in it here in Brandon. Talk about close. This is a close field. Kathy Borst, Shannon Kleibrink, Kelly Law, Ann Merklinger, Sherry Sherek. They're all 3-2. Yesterday, the women played twice, and in their 5th draw, Goring stayed alive. Bodogh lost her 3rd. Shmeller moved alone into 1st place, while Borst and Kleibrink went to 3-2. So one team is in 1st, but there's the bunch at 3-2, 5 teams. And today, we're going to start to see some separation here at the Olympic Curling Trials. Welcome back to a glorious day in Brandon. There's certainly no mistaking where you are. This is the Canadian Prairie, just outside of Brandon, Manitoba. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Brandon and TSN's continuing coverage of these Olympic curling trials. And the wind at my back right now feels like it may have started in Calgary. There's no doubt that Brandon is the center of Manitoba's agricultural community because within 100 kilometers of Brandon is 2/3 of all the usable farmland in the province, making Brandon the wheat city. A couple of teams with great pedigrees meeting in this women's 6th draw. Marilyn Bodogh, she's a 2-time Canadian, 2-time world champion. Allison Goring, she's won a Canadian championship, but right now, both of them sitting at 3 losses and both knowing that they really must win today to keep their hopes alive of going to the Olympics in February. With their thoughts, Lyndon Ray.
We're in the viewing lounge of the Keystone Centre, a lovely location to relax or to watch the action, but it looks beautiful outside.
Fix out in left field again, Linda.
A great game today expected because we have very experienced skip Allison Goring against Marilyn Bodogh, both with multiple Scott Tournament Hearts appearances. And to me, this is going to be the story. How goes the skip, goes the team. They have to play with confidence and play well for the team to finish at the end of the week. If you look at the stats, first of all with Marilyn Bodogh, when they have won, she has shot 78%. In the 3 losses, her average is only 60%. Of course, Allison Goring, same story, 2 wins, 79%, 3 losses, 63%. They have to pick it up.
Well, the interesting matchup, of course, too, will be Laurie, Eddy, and Guillard. They're both young, strong thirds, but they're going to have to play very, very well in this game today to back up their skips, because the skips, as you mentioned, have been up and down. So it's important for those two to really put on a performance, and the one that does will win this game.
This morning at the Keystone Centre, the men played their 5th draw. Jeff Stoughton, Brent McDonald going to an extra end, and you can see McDonald lying, shot stone, edge of the button. And Stoughton with the hammer in his last stone just throws a little too much weight at it. He'll spin off, and it'll be a steal of 2 and a win for Brent McDonald out of the Otwell Curling Club in Edmonton, handing Stoughton his 4th loss, the former Canadian and world champion. So after 5 draws in men's play, and they'll be on the ice later today again, 2 Ontario teams, Mike Harris and Ed Wernick at 4-1, followed by Burtnick, McDonald, David Smith from Winnipeg at 3-2. At 2-3, Russ Howard, Martin Bodogh, and 2 teams at 1-4, Kevin Park and Jeff Stout. 5 sheets in play when we return to the Keystone Center. And just a reminder, we'd like to hear from you on the internet, www.tsn.ca/curling. Comments, questions, anything about curling, we'd like to hear from you. It's draw number 6 in women's play. Bodogh against Goring when we come back to Brandon. Well, we've been here a number of times at the Keystone Center, from McCain TSN Skins Games, Scott Tournament of Hearts, Ford Worlds, and now we're here for these Olympic curling trials. Glad to be back in Brandon. Our featured game between Goring and Bodogh is on sheet D. Let's find out what it just might do today. And the man to read the ice is Ray.
Each day the curling gets better and the ice gets better. But this morning I watched this sheet. Eddy played Kevin Park on it, and it got a little straighter. Let's talk about the curl around the center guards. About 2 feet, maybe 2.5 to start. It may change through the game. Around the corners, not 3.5 plus, about 3 feet around those corners. Now going away with the out turn, about the 4th or 5th end, it got quite straight. The same with the in-turn if you're a right-hander curler coming down. This morning we saw, according to Neil Harrison, a little bit of frost sneak in here, so you had to be careful. They didn't play that side of the sheet very much, but there was a bit of a frost line just out here, so you had to be careful. I did not see or notice much flattening out in this area. The rocks were sliding well through the center. So I expect this to be an interesting game. It's a good sheet of ice. The rocks, you have to watch them closely.
Let's take a look at the other games in this women's 6th draw, and it's Kelly Law out of Richmond, BC, at 3-2 against Mary Mannitol from Halifax. Connie Lalibert at 1-4 goes against Shannon Clybrink, 3-2 from Calgary. The leader right now, Sandra Shmeller, 4-1 against Sherek from the Granite in Saskatoon. Sherek can help everybody if she can bring Shmeller back. And Kathy Borst against Ann Merklinger. It's Edmonton against Ottawa, both at 3-2. Redstones will have the hammer here in this first end, so that means Allison Goring. And to get us going, this is the Maryland Bodogh lead, Jane Hooper-Perreault.
Right here.
I know sometimes it sounds obvious when you say, well, the skip has to curl well, but in both of these cases, these teams look up to their skips. The skips are the true leaders, and they have to exude that confidence, and also their game style dictates that they must make the big shot to win. So that's why I'm saying we're going to concentrate a little bit on the skips, and of course Ray's saying the team has to back them up.
Yeah, I think when you talked about those percentages, you know, the good game and the bad game, we don't get a clear picture in the sense that we don't know how well the teams played in those particular games, but it is a good indication. The fact that Allison and Maryland both play the game fairly aggressively, and if you're going to do that, we've seen it all week, especially with the men as well, you're going to really have to, you know, back it up with performance. Otherwise, you get yourself in so much trouble.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
A short rock that cannot be removed from play, just outside the rings, and then the come around by Allison Goring.
And I would like to thank Brian Cassidy, the CCA head statistician, who beforehand worked with me on those career statistics. Had to pull them out from the various years that the players have played at the Scott Tournament of Hearts, and then we averaged them out to see how they'd played in those events. So thank you very much, Brian, for your help.
Riding the whole line.
Both of you talk about, as curlers, you want the ice to remain consistent, and we've seen a reasonable consistency during the course of a game, but from game to game we have seen the ice change, so there's been dramatic differences there. As a curler, are you troubled then game to game, or do you just care about the game's consistency?
Well, you care more about the game's consistency, that's for sure, because you make the adjustment. And by this time now, they've played on most of the sheets. You know, there's some question in the men's division about the allotment of ice of the sheets, because it's just not consistent, and I think that they could have been a little bit more consistent with it. In other words, some teams playing 2 and 3 games on one sheet, etc., with certain colors. But they have got to a point now where they know the rocks pretty well, and I think there's as much concern about the stones. Some of the stones are a little bit faster than others. You have to know what they are. You have to know the stones that cut a little bit more. In other words, the running surfaces that are a touch sharper. And by this time, they've got them pretty well mapped. So we saw this morning, Linda, for example, in Kevin Martin's game, they went out on the ice and threw their opposition stones after they had lost, and just to see, and
Okay,
there's
Corey.
no question, Kerry Burtnick told me that their stones were not sliding as freely. That particular, those stones weren't sliding as freely as his. So, and Kevin got caught a couple times,
Just tight.
unfortunately, on stones coming up light.
That is the one thing when we look at the numbers of wins for
Just
red
tight,
stones
yes.
versus yellow stones on each sheet of ice. The yellow has a very big difference. They're winning a lot more games. So that is one thing the players are questioning.
Both these front ends are strong.
Line's good. Bring it tight.
We saw Corey miss a
Line's real
takeout
nice.
there that over curled.
Oh,
And the ice isn't moving as much as we've seen, so that's a
Line's
little
real nice.
surprising. We will
No,
keep an eye on
it's
that.
not. No,
But it
it
gives
has to.
Allison a chance to put another one in.
Well, I watched that whole game with Kevin Park and Ed Wernick. Good
Okay.
game. Once again, the Ontario foursome just played so consistently well.
Right
you know,
there.
And they got a small lead and protected it well.
Throw
And Kevin
for
Park
12.
tried everything possible to get back in, but just couldn't get anything going. It was a good performance by Eddie and John and Pat and Neil. But having watched the whole game, I came out to watch it. There's no question that the ice was straighter, especially this outturn down here a little bit.
Now this one's curling as well.
It
I don't know
didn't-
if they're getting it started maybe, right?
Well, it didn't start to get, it actually changed. Neil was saying that it changed a little bit, you know, almost halfway through the game. It just got a little bit straighter.
go here.
It was curving well to
Just
begin
tee.
with, but
It's a chance for Allison to throw some draws this end, and it is draw weight that has not changed as much. We've seen more change with the amount of curl. Draw weight has been fairly consistent, and that is nice for the players. Vic was asking us about, well, the one thing you want from game to game. Probably if they can retain the feel for draw weight, that is very
Make sure it's
important.
deep.
And then from game to game, if they're just adjusting the amount of curl,
line hard.
that's not as big a difference that you
Hurry.
have to pick up. So a
Come
chance
on.
here for Allison's team to
Yes.
put a third stone in the
gotta
house
be back
and
here.
get the feel for draw weight.
Right back.
Nice
Right
and
back.
early in this game,
back.
which is always a good thing.
Wait. Good sweeping.
So if we look at draw weight, for example, it's been about 13.5 seconds for the draw to travel between the hog lines for about the last 2 days. Guards 15.5, and takeout for women is about 9 seconds between the hog lines. So this will give us a chance to track those weights during the game.
what would be the takeouts
No.
for men, Linda?
Yeah, it's about 7 to 8 seconds. And then if you talk
Yes!
about,
No!
gee, some of those Kevin Martin shots were down in the 5-second
Shot.
range.
Be a great contest. I think that David Smith has shown us that he can buzz that stone. I wonder who could throw it harder, he or Don Walchuk. Nice shot.
Just normal. Yep. Yep.
I'd like to hit and roll away from the side of the sheet that has their other rocks so they can try further to this end. This one's
Right up.
also curling.
Don't stop.
This in turn.
Don't stop. No roll. Okay.
So from going from sitting 3, now Maryland's team can get out of this end by removing this rock.
Yep. Clean. Whoa. Just clean. Yep. Yep. Hurry. 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 Right up. Roll it, Jane. Roll it. Roll it. Roll it. Roll it. Atta girl.
And she'll roll it to the back of the button. First end of this women's 6th draw, and these two teams are
Your
at
wing
2
was
and
good.
3.
Yep.
Laurie, Eddy.
Whoa. Whoa. Just clean. Clean it. Whoa. Okay. I don't know why there's so much there. Where are we going? 8 foot?
As we say, this is a very important day when you have 5 teams at 3 and 2. You've got one team all by themselves in first place. That's Sandra Shmeller. I mean, that's the difficulty if you're one of those teams at 2 and 3 losses now. If Shmeller wins and pulls away from the rest of the field, leaving only 2 spots open, Linda, that's why Sherek can do everyone a big favor if she can beat Sandra today.
And that's one of those games that I find very interesting because those are provincial rivals, so you never know what's going to happen with those sorts of matchups. They probably play each other a lot during the season.
Skip stones here in this first. Marilyn Bodogh. Of course, we'll keep you updated on all the games here in this women's 6th round.
Line's good. Looks nice. Looks nice.
That intern's a good 3 feet. She took outside the middle of the 8 foot, so the intern is curling about 3 feet. Beat him to see how the outturn is curling now.
Just normal. Shot. It came real nice, hey? Yes.
Intern for those right-handed curlers, of course.
From the internet, from Ron Seaman in Kingston, Ontario, my wife and I have been taught to sweep across the face of the rock. Team Bodogh sweeps directly down the path of the rock. What's correct?
You will notice with Team Bodogh there is side-to-side motion. That is a rule. There must be some side-to-side motion. The main things are that you have to make sure you don't leave any debris when you finish sweeping, so your final stroke must be away. But there is no measurement about how much side-to-side you must go. There just must be a clear indication you're going a little bit side-to-side.
Yep. Yes. Right up. Hurry. Yep. Good shot.
We've sure seen some great sweeping this week. Of course, the purpose of sweeping is to lower the pebble a little bit, let the stone glide a little more easily, and that means a little bit of side-to-side motion and some downward pressure on the brush head. And especially, I guess, on the men's side where we have some very powerful men, there's been tremendous sweeping, which takes a stone from being a guard to a button draw. Makes a huge difference.
It was interesting, too, to watch Jeff Stoughton miss that last shot. You know, you don't like to see anybody miss like that, but he kind of took that stone away from the brushers. He overthrew it a little bit, and the brushers just had no chance with it. Steve and Gary just had to watch it slide. Big shot for Jeff, of course.
Yep. Hurry!
Marilyn Bodogh and her last stone here in this first. Allison Goring out of the Bayview Country Club in Toronto does have the hammer.
Hurry! Hard. Right up. Good shot. Good sweeping. 13. I was tight. Hey?
Allison didn't go all the way down the ice. She called the spot for the broom from one end.
Well,
both teams conscious at the beginning of the game about time clocks.
A little more ice. Well, think? We were on center line. Corey was out there.
3 rocks in one spot have curled more than they thought. That's what they're talking about, Marilyn and Kim.
Yep. Whoa!
With the ice makers always, you know, striving to make sure that the conditions are better and better. You know, you got to be careful that you don't get caught in the fact that from one game to the next, you know, you come out here, even as I came out and watched it, and they come out too.
Allison Goring forced to take one. She couldn't roll the shooter. Bodogh to have the hammer when we come back to Brandon.
Shots.
Just a reminder, Off the Record with Michael Landsberg comes your way tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Earl Curitan, who is the play-by-play analyst on the Raptors radio broadcast, as well as TSN's Brendan Connor. Off the Record with Michael Landsberg tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Early in this 6th round of women's play, an update for you. It is Kathy Borst against Ann Merklinger. Both these teams are 3 and 2 coming in. Borst out of the Otwell Curling Club in Edmonton with the hammer. Merklinger from the Rideau Club in Ottawa. Long center line guard, 1 stone. That's the yellow on the button. Quiet tap back for 1 by Borst. No problem, and the former Alberta champion has her single. Merklinger to have the hammer playing the second end. Elsewhere in this 6th round of play, Kelly Law and her team from the Richmond Curling Club. We'll start with Lalibert instead with a 1-0 lead over Clybrink. And Shmeller Sherek, they blanked the first in. Shmeller with the hammer, and I'll tell you, Law scored 1 against Mannitol with the last rock. Mary Mannitol from Halifax
Good shot.
has the hammer in the
Nice
second.
weight, Jane. Shot, Jane. That weight would have been nice.
Same weight.
Allison Goring did call the first stone short, and then at the last moment they tried to sweep it hard to get it fully into the rings. It didn't make it, so that nose hit by the Bodogh team is outside the house. Remembering the free guard zone rule, now they can't remove that stone, so they're going to try and play another guard beside it,
Hard
or
for
just tuck
9.
around it if they can.
8 foot.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Come on, you got it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa.
Great weight, Mary.
Shot.
Perfect weight. She threw it to the sweepers. It was an either-or shot.
nose
It just
again,
curled
Jane.
too much.
12 and a half. Yep. Hey. Maybe 13. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 12 and a half. Nice shot, Jane. That a girl. Good weight. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so tight.
Okay.
Good normal. Keep it up a bit.
Kim Moore throws the second stone for this Goring foursome.
Whoa!
Down a bit.
Clean.
Normal.
Yep. Yes. Whoa. Yes. Yep. Whoa. 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 Shot.
Nice roll.
I'll say.
Shot, Kim.
Kim, who briefly played with Marilyn Bodogh back in the late 70s.
Oh! Yes! Yes! Hurry! Right up, right up. Come on. Hard, 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 hard. Hard. Shot, Corey.
I am the man I am today because I've seen curling with Lyndon Ray. Makes a great Christmas gift. To order, you can phone or you can fax, and there are the numbers for you. It's a great video.
I don't know if we want a Vic testimonial, do we? For those that have seen Vic curl, there are other styles you may learn.
Never. Never, never.
Actually, we had on the videos we worked with Jeff Stoughton and Kim Guillard as well, so you get a chance to see the various types of deliveries: the tuck delivery, the balance delivery, the balance with swing, balance with no swing.
Throw T-line.
This is the kind of shot that is a little more difficult if the ice changes. They're trying to split to try and get the rock that's just in front of the house in as well as rolling the shooter. And if the ice changes, the line calls on these are very difficult.
Right up, hard! 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 Jane, your side, hard! Hard! Hard, Jane, hard! Hard! Roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it! Right over. Shot.
Just about did it.
Just a touch thinner, Lynn.
Perfect weight.
A bit thinner.
Yeah, it's getting warm in here.
Good normal.
Okay.
Laurie Eddy.
Whoa. Clean it.
Clean it.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep.
Roll.
Yep.
Roll.
Yes. Whoa. Okay.
Or there's Ken. Throw 12.
The 12 that they refer to, they time rocks from hog to tee and even use the takeout system that way.
Whoa! 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 Whoa. Okay, Kim, good shot. That was over there.
just want the nose. So that was up normal on my last? Just normal.
Laurie Eddy, the native of Lunenburg, Nova Scotia, who played competitively in the Nova Scotia region with Heather
Clean.
Rankin, a former Nova Scotia champion.
Just clean. Close. Whoa. Whoa. Clean. Yep. 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 Nice shot.
Marilyn Bodogh has the hammer. The last rock here in the second. Goring leading 1-0. Kim Guillard.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
do you not? We've seen Jane Hooper-Perreault time for Bodaugh's team touchdown to hog. Do you only do that on draws? You don't do it on takeouts?
That's a normal thing to do because you're judging it. You need to know exactly the weight on draws.
Sorry, Kim.
And she'll spin it out the other side.
Okay. Shoot. Cutting hard.
Both
at the end.
teams actually use the split time system to just to see for draw weight if they need to sweep early or not. It's just a indication early because the times are very small and they don't give you an exact measure.
She hasn't been feeling very well. Allison, some chills, a little bit of fever last night. It's a long week, and I think the adjustment too.
Yes. Hard.
Weather's a little different. Weather's very, very mild in Brandon right now, unseasonably so. Temperatures above freezing for the next 4 or 5 days.
Unseasonably so? Is it?
This-
A little bit of a shot at Manitoba there.
I'm sure that's just his research that he knows the average
Not
temperatures
at all. Average
usually.
temperatures around minus 3.4.
And today we're at
About +2.
Nice team weight.
It is beautiful out, and you're right. It's
That's good.
a little nicer than we normally have it this time of year, but beautiful.
Now Marilyn is going to try a split, and this is a very quiet weight shot. This kind of shot is Marilyn's bread and butter. She needs to find
it's on
this
the
sort of
yellow,
shot
but
early in this game in order
bearing
to
the
have
yellow?
success. She's a player that has to rely on her draw weight, and if she finds it early in the game, that's going to be a big bonus for her. They have a very strong front end. They need to capitalize on that, and Marilyn must find the confidence of the winning years, 1986 and 1996.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Line's good. Whoa, no line. Whoa, gotta move. No line. Move. Nothing yet, nothing yet. Nothing. 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 Little roll, Jane, little roll. Right over, Corey, right over. Okay, Marilyn.
Nice shot. Got them both on.
Yeah. Ooh,
That's the one thing
took a
this team
long
does do
time.
very well is
Very long
communicate
time. Nice
the
weight,
weight from front end to holder of broom, whoever it may be. They
You okay?
got great skills that way, and they work hard at it.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Good. Fine.
Vic already mentioned the fact that you know that Jane Hooper-Perreault will do the timing for the weight of the draws by touchdown to first hog line to know whether or not she should be brushing or not, and so early in they do the split times early in the.
Never. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep. Yep. Roll way over here. Yep. 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 Right over. Okay. Shut.
They weren't going to get the roll to the center line side, trying to get behind the other yellow stone, so they rolled it away. This means Marilyn has to be sure not to be outside, with a little bit straighter today. If she happened to be outside the target broom, it might float away and roll out. Now this would be a great start for Marilyn. She made a nice shot on her first one, a little quiet split. If she can come back with the takeout here, get the nose hit in the two, that'd be a great start for the team.
Okay, guys, make it good.
A hit for the extra point. Take a 1-point lead.
Where is it? Yep. Go hard.
Final stone of this second end.
Hard. Come
Chance
on,
for two.
hard. Hard.
Shane Hooper-Perreault, Corey Beveridge hold it up. Now the roll. Digging in time. Oh, it'll stop plenty of time. Back 8 for 2. Had her worried, thinking that it might have over-curled a little bit. Marilyn Bodogh picks up a pair.
That too crisp. 12 would have been good there.
Welcome back to Brandon, the Keystone Center, as we check in on the game between Connie Lalibert out of the Fort Rouge in Winnipeg at 1-4 against Shannon Clybrink from Calgary at 3-2. Lalibert opened with a single with last rock in the first. This will be Clybrink's final stone, and she is lying 2 on the button.
She's trying to find a way to get the third one in. She's trying an angle raise, hoping it spills in off another stone, I think.
Joanne Sipka, Shannon Nemo. The rushers for this team from Calgary, former Alberta champs, raise it straight back into the pile. 2 for sure. Now when they tap the red one, do they get enough? I don't think so. I think it's 2.
It's a great try.
Yeah, it's only 2. 2 for Clybrink here in this second to take a 2-1 lead over Connie Lalibert, who has struggled at 1-4. Now it's Borst against Merklinger. Kathy Borst from Edmonton opened with 1 with hammer in the first, and Merklinger has the hammer from the Rideau Curling Club in Ottawa. Facing 2 makes the hit at the edge of the 4 for her single point, and they're tied 1-1 going to 3.
Want that already?
Marilyn Bodogh scored 2 with the hammer in the second. Allison Goring has the hammer in the third, trailing 2-1.
Jane is being asked for a guard. The first one was short. That was Jane's first stone. Allison tried the come around and just chipped in the Bodogh stone.
Yep.
So they're trying to guard the center line side of that yellow rock, preventing a hit and roll behind the red one.
A little higher. Right here is good. It's there. Yep. Great shot, Jane.
Here are all the up-to-date scores. Mary Mannitol blanked the second with the hammer and holds on to it, playing the third against Kelly Law. It's the 6th round of women's play here at these Olympic curling trials.
T-line. T-line. It's heavy. Can't hit it nose.
No, whoa. Too much. Okay, Merck. Looks good.
Okay, it's good.
It looked heavy and it looked wide, and it really curled.
But
and
it just, the
slowed
last
down.
3 feet, it just went sideways. It may have picked something
Right there. Peel
because
weight.
it ended up not being wide and not being heavy.
It was perfect. Forces Corey into the run back double attempt.
Corey Beveridge.
Peel. Close. Yep. Hurry. Hurry. Hurry.
Run it back.
Great shot. Oh, darn, Corey. That's good, Corey. Shot, Corey.
Boy, that move too for the last 6 feet with that kind of weight.
How to hit this? Just normal. Hit it on the nose almost.
And this comes back to our discussions of the control zone, the area in front of the house to the top of
Just
the 4
normal.
foot, and who wants to own it. Well, both teams do, of course, because it's a critical area. Stones can be tapped up. Allison's trying to nose hit the center line guard.
Okay.
Good try.
Not really what they wanted. They want to get that Yellowstone off that center line to
Positive 12.
center area.
A positive 12? What's she talking about? A 12-second time. Positive, just what? Keep it up.
Well, 12 seconds is the time between hog to tee, and positive is make sure just to keep the rotation up. Out in the sides, they're just a little concerned with any frost that's out there.
Same thing.
Same weight.
Okay, let's go.
This is the area we're talking about. This is the control zone area, and all the teams will struggle to control that area. Obviously, if they get this area, they'll get the back area. Be able to tap their stones up, move them over.
Touch left.
Kim Moore.
Oh, she's so bad.
Yep. Yep. Turn. Turn.
Trying to get it off the back of the yellow one.
Okay.
Sit. Good call. Good shot.
Plan B.
Anything? Or do you like the split better? Top 8.
Third stones here in this third end. Bodogh up 2-1. And a wobbly. Kim Guillard.
Rim. Yep.
Quick look at the watch to see what the
on
weight is.
room. Lots of room. Lots of room. Clean.
Whoa. Whoa. Take it back. Yep. Go, Jane.
Very
Shot.
nice shot. I like the call too. I didn't like the split, the stone near center line. I like that position it's in.
Oh, quarter.
Just here.
Okay.
Just tap it here.
Yep. What do you think, Mare? Yeah. Play 4?
Thought she
Same
did
as
well
the
to
other
recover with, and she came out a little off balance. I mean, that could throw you off as well.
Most of these players have very nice deliveries, and the occasional slip, you're right, Vic, they can recover nicely.
Yep. Hey. Hard.
Laurie Eddy.
Hurry. Right up, right up, right up.
Right
Roll it, Kim. Roll it. Okay.
Over.
Little light, I think, what she asked for.
Remember what Ray said earlier about the key possibly to this game being the battle at third, Kim Guillard and Laurie Eddy. And right now, Guillard seemingly has the edge.
Why not come the same way?
No.
Okay. Okay. Clean it. Yep. Yep. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Ooh.
Whoa.
It's more.
Whoa.
Yeah, top 8's good. Top 8's good. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Shot.
Two very nice shots by Kim Guillard. On Sunday in the second, or the women's third draw, well, this was the reaction of Laurie Eddy when the umpire got the, not the measurement wrong, but she moved the wrong rock. And see Laurie on the right there against Kathy Borst. Oh, yeah. Because Borst thought she won it. Laurie said, no, no, we got 2. It's ours. Yes, see, now she had it right. And Goring went on to a 7-6 win, but it was a heart attack for Laurie Eddy.
You just wonder because they already had 2 losses, and that was a very interesting last end to the game against Kathy Borst. And the poor official, of course, did the measurement perfectly correctly until that last moment when she indicated which stone was shot rock.
Or do you want to go it again, top 8?
No, I kind of like going top 12.
You like that?
Like completely guarding it?
Yeah.
Okay. Top 12?
You were here.
Just top 12.
Yeah.
Gave more ice.
Just top 12, though.
Just bite the 12-foot, taking more ice, you heard her say.
Same weight out here, eh?
Marilyn Bodogh and her first skip stone here in this third. She leads 2-1.
Make sure. Bring it up. Bring it up. Hard.
Where is it? Not too deep. Whoa. Frozen? Looks like it's coming in frozen. Whoa! Yes. Hurry.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, just too deep. She asked for top 12. If she could have played the come around to the top of the 12 4-foot as well, and that would have been the perfect weight for that shot.
It runs real nice.
Shoot. Really keen, eh?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, about 3/4 of the rock.
I thought with the curl, I threw the right amount of weight.
Where'd you have your ice? Well, we're timing the same.
Huh?
Hitting this one here, a little on the inside of the stone, pushing it that way slightly, removing that one that way, and trying to roll
Gotta hit about
over
3/4
right
on this
there.
side.
And I found what Marilyn said to Kim Guillard interesting. She says, my rock ends up here, but we're timing the same. So what is Marilyn maybe doing to her stone that makes it react differently?
No, I think she's just struggling a little bit with the feel. I think Kim was just saying the times are the same, Marilyn. We just have to make sure that we throw a little less weight on those.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yes! Hard! Hard!
Get them both? No, she'll drive it by. Now, where is the shooter going to stop?
That's one of those spots in the ice now that you have to remember very clearly that in turn, when it hits the hog line, is going to move with the bumper weight and obviously with the draw weight. So that's about the 4th stone we've seen down there. And each time it gets just approaching the hog line, and then from that point on, it will definitely make a very positive move. So that's what we talk about in the anticipation of brushing. So you can, if you get on the brushing early, knowing that's going to be there, then you can hold it. This out turn runs a little straighter, or at least it was this morning, I should say.
Yeah. 12.5.
Hit and roll here would be big for Bodogh. She doesn't have the hammer.
Whoa! 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 Roll it, Jane! Hard!
Hit. Oh, not enough.
Shot.
Quite a nice shot. They were panicking a little, as Ray mentioned. That side doesn't curl as much.
I was tight.
They were just making sure that it didn't. They made sure that it was the straighter side of the sheet.
Just a little, but your weight was 12.
Oh, was it?
Well, they were yelling 12.
Oh. That's right. That 8 will cut too, eh?
Shoot. I mean, let's go off.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
It's out in here, in this area here, where the move takes place. And she's trying to catch this one here and try and roll in behind here.
Whoa!
Clean it.
No!
Close.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Full 4, even a piece of the white.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs the inside corner.
Whoa!
She threw more weight.
Not going to get there. It's going to be a steal of 1 yellow, steal of 1 for Bodogh.
1 yellow.
And a 3-1 lead for Bodogh over Allison Goring. In a must-win for both these teams.
A little bit.
The loser drops to 4 losses. The winner stays right in the hunt. Welcome back to Keystone Center in Brandon and our continuing coverage of these Olympic curling trials, women's 6th draw. Let's get you caught up now. Sandra Shmeller. She scored 1 with last rock in the second. This is the final stone for Sherek out of the Granite in Saskatoon. Shmeller from the Cowley in Regina. And this is a draw for 2. She already has shot stone sitting top 12. any part of the paint will give her 2, and she makes no mistake. So Sherek in this provincial battle and looking to bring Shmeller back to the field as a 2-1 lead. Kelly Law against Mary Mannitol. Law scored 1 with hammer in the first, then they blanked the second. This is the final stone for Mannitol, the former Nova Scotia champion out of the Mayflower in Halifax against the reigning British Columbia champion from the Richmond Curling Club. Little tap up, sit in time for 1. Nice shot by Mary Mannitol to even it at 1-1 going to 4. Kathy Borst against Ann Merklinger as they play the third in a 1-1 tie. Both these teams at 3-2. Borst by the guard and then jammed the stone and it rolled too far, and it's a steal of 1 by Merklinger and a 2-1 lead there in teams that, as I say, are both 3-2. And now we go live to the game between Connie Lalibert and Shannon Clybrink. Lalibert at 1-4. Clybrink from Calgary at 3-2. And as they play the third, it's 2-1. Clybrink leading, and we'll update you on that as they throw their final stones.
Well, going back to the last shot, and just that Allison seemed to throw it fine, but she really did throw more weight, much more weight than she did in the first one, and that's why she didn't get that little bit of late movement.
Now, we did talk about positive weight, positive rotation. That will make the rock go a little bit straighter. It is sensitive to both release and weight.
Yep.
Corey Beveridge.
It was an interesting call by Allison. There was the 2 guards in front and the 1 Bodogh stone in the house, and Allison called to come to the stone in the house, even though it was partly visible.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Shot, Corey.
Hack, Wheat! Hack!
What are we playing? Okay.
Kim Moore.
Weight's good.
Post!
Keeping our eye on the game between Lalibert and Clybrink as they finish things up in the third. Lalibert with the hammer. This is her final stone. Trying to find the hole. This is a takeout for a possible 3.
Okay, Kim.
Nice
And
weight.
there it is. 1-2 for sure. They'll check that stone at the top. And they'll get the stick to see if that stone biting the edge of the 12 at around 2 o'clock is biting. But it's 2 for sure for Connie Lalibert in the third.
Right there's good.
As you said, from this view, it looks like it might not be, but you said there's also a yellow line there that's
right,
part
just
of the blue.
outside the blue paint.
We'll update you on that as we return to our featured game. Goring and Bodogh, 3-1. Bodogh leading as we play in 4. Goring with the hammer.
Yep. Yes. Hurry! Hurry! Stay on it! Stay on it! Come on, Jane! Come on! Roll it! Roll it! Go! Roll it! Roll it! Roll it, Jane! Roll it! Roll it! Roll it! Roll it! Roll it! Roll it! Right over. Roll. Okay, that's good.
Play this. Just normal.
You can see the concern that Allison has for those stones, yellow stones in front. She is lying 1. And hit the rock just outside the rings and roll in front of her own.
Normal.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. 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 Yep. 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 Right up. Okay.
Okay, Kim. I guess freeze on that red, maybe? Do you like this? Yep.
Talking about freezing. It's pretty well covered by that one. She's just going to try and freeze on the face of it. Could try to tap it back. Can't see much of it.
Make sure line's good. Top 8.
Yes.
Hurry line.
Yep.
Line's good. Room.
Whoa. Where is it?
Lots of room.
Whoa, whoa. No, no. Right here. Right here. No bump. No bump. Yep, 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 yep. Come on, Jake. Come on, come on, come on. Shot.
It turned out to be just 2 for Lalibert. That stone at the edge of the 12 was not in, so Lalibert with now a 3-2 lead over Shannon Clyburn as they go to 4.
Set the bump.
Those Bodogh stones are in good position, especially that one that just landed near center
Short's
line.
good.
And Allison is trying to protect now shot rock by sitting in front of that yellow stone that's top 8 foot.
Line's good. Isn't it? Just here. Just here. Right up.
Laurie Eddy.
Whoa, just here.
Easy.
Whoa, whoa.
Easy.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just
That's
there.
good. Whoa.
Okay, nice weight.
From the World Wide Web,
What do you like?
out of Yorkton, Saskatchewan, will the Canadian and World Curling Federations ever come together on the differences of the free guard zone?
The wide draw?
Well, I mean, we have no idea of knowing
Wide
whether they
intern.
ever will come together, and it's
wide
and everybody has a
intern.
different opinion of what
Top 8.
is the better of the 2 rules. The only thing I can tell you is that there's 100,000
good,
curlers
too.
in the
All
world,
right.
and there's 1 million here. We're-
Just to give a little background, in 1992, the World Curling Federation decided on the 4-rock rule to try and increase aggressive play and make it more interesting for participants and for fans. The one thing
Yes.
the Canadian Curling Association decided to do is study it,
more,
because the
yes.
concerns were it diminishes
yes.
last rock advantage and takes away
Whoa,
the corner guard
whoa.
play. This end is one example. There was a corner guard played in this end. It is the red stone that was going to come into view right now. There you see it. And yet we are still playing to the center of the ice. And that
Okay,
is the
Kim.
one concern. I don't think the World Curling Federation shares
Okay,
that
Kim.
concern. They feel that it is doing the job they wanted it to do. And as Ray said, there is different needs amongst the countries. So at the moment, I don't see it changing.
Yeah, like this.
The 2 major differences is with the World Curling Federation
there.
rule, you cannot remove opposition stones. You can remove your own if they are lying in the free guard zone area. That's the
That's
area between the
normal.
hog line and the house. And you have to wait until after the first 4 stones have come to rest with the world rule, where it's 3 stones with the Canadian rule. At the moment, as I say, they're meeting the needs, it seems, of the
Yep.
different nations, and I don't see it changing.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Laurie Eddy, who also spent some time playing for Mary
Whoa.
Mannitol, who is also in this competition out of Halifax. Her final stone.
Okay.
And the raised rock will go too far, but
Shot.
Goring is now lying 1, biting top 4, center line and covered.
Not bad.
Like this way?
Good.
Or, no, how about this way? And then we still got this for backing, too.
Well, if we play this way and we come here.
Shmeller and Sherek as they play in the 4th. 2-1 Sherek leading.
Through the hole.
And this will be the final stone for Shmeller.
What looks good? This
She's
way or
lying
that way?
2, back button and back 4, a draw for 3.
This way?
Sherry Sherek's last rock attempt was a hit and roll, and it hit the wrong side of the stone she was attempting to remove and left the 2 red stones in the 4-foot.
Shmeller on top of the standings at 4-1. Joan McCusker, Marcy Gooderwright staying with it, cleaning it. Jan Betker calling the line. And she'll draw the 4 for 3. Sandra Shmeller up 4-2 as they go to the 5th. Sherek to have the hammer. Skip Stones here in 4. Marilyn Bodogh.
No line.
No line.
We're on the red one. On the red one. Okay. Where is it? Just for weight, guys. Just for weight. Lots of line. To the back one.
a little strong. You can see Allison.
Yeah, I know. Said to them, even top 8, you know?
Yes.
Double is definitely there.
You just have to just let it go, not overthrow it.
So I go back to what you've said, Linda Ray, about you've got to give it to your brushers.
Yes, and the comment that Marilyn at the moment doesn't have the feel. She has quite a lower percentage in her draws as opposed to her takeouts. And Marilyn's game is the draw game.
Close. Close. Close.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Close!
Whoa. Whoa.
Hasn't got very much weight.
Yeah!
She's playing the hit and roll, I think.
Yes.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Whoa!
Right over.
And roll in. Lovely shot.
Good shot.
To sit 2.
Oh, a little too far. Rolled a little too far, but that's okay. Just rolled a little too far for the draw. That's okay. Shoot. Yeah, just a little too far.
The very end, it kept curling. That's what Allison's
over on that.
saying.
That's all she was playing.
Nice wave. T-line, guys.
Now, a couple of other games you said one side was a little straighter than the others.
Allison didn't like it rolling
24,
over quite that far.
Is this one of those situations, Linda, this is a straight side compared to the other, or are they both the same now?
Well, Marilyn's rock didn't really hang that long. It hung at the very beginning of the path, but it started to curl after. It's very, very important to throw the right weight. Then it will catch the curl.
T-line's good. Go hard. Go hard. Hurry. Wait over.
Corey Beveridge is closest to the stone. Jane Hooper-Perot out in front.
Yes. Whoa. Whoa.
Now where did it go? A little too heavy? Now it's spun off. Who's second shot?
I think the yellow is
sliding.
second.
Sorry, Cor.
Boy, that slid still.
Yep. We're still shot with that.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I guess we'll just have to take her 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Yellowstone isn't going to go anywhere, is it?
Like a little bit more ice on those draws on that cut. Anyway, your 8 rock ended up in a good position.
Hey? There's no way we can
We're
move
definitely
this.
shot, right? We're in the middle, the hands are there.
Yeah, I think so, eh?
Yeah, yeah, we're definitely shot. Okay.
There's no other way that'll squeeze, though.
No,
So
you
let's
gotta
have
like
the draw to-
hit it like here. And I don't think you can
Yeah.
get there. Okay, let's go.
Time for the gauge.
There it is.
It would be very nice to have that on the ice. But of course,
bad,
you
we're
can't
still
use
shot.
anything to tell which is
Yeah.
shot. You have to use
You
your
can't, and then
eyes.
there's no way to move this because it's jammed. It's frozen solid to the back one. Yep. So what's the weight?
Allison had a big
That
year
quick?
last year. She made it to the finals of the Scott and needs to build on that experience. She does like it when it swings the ice, and it does curl quite a bit here, and she does like the aggressive game.
Yep.
You can see by the stones in play.
Yep.
Hurry! Whoa, whoa!
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Hurry, over Curly, come on!
Take it right back, get it by. They did. Wow. Great brushing by Mary Bowman and Kim Moore to get the 2 right back. Goring with 2 in the 4th has evened it up. We're all tied 3-3 going to 5 here in Brandon. Well, some great brushing by the front end of this Goring team results in a couple for Allison Goring.
We were discussing the ice and the fact that Allison likes the ice when it has a lot of curl, and this one did pick up the curl early, and it was up to the brushers to try and get it into the 4-foot position. You can see by the rocks in play, this is the kind of game both teams like. They like to generate a lot of offense, great brushing, Little touch there, but still gets 2.
For a 3-3 tie. Updating the game between Kathy Borst and Merklinger as they play the 4th. 2-1, Merklinger leading up the steal of 1 in the 3rd. Final stone for the skip from the Otwell Curling Club in Edmonton. Got away with it. Actually brushed her own stone on her way by, wicked off it, still killed the 1 stone to get her 1, and it's tied 2-2. Mary Mannitol out of Halifax with a steal of 1 in the 4th, a 2-1 lead over Kelly Law from Richmond, BC. Lalibert scores 2 as we showed you in the 3rd, as they're now playing the final stones of the 4th end. We showed you Shmeller's 3 to lead 4-2 over Sherek.
No, just leave it. Shot.
Nice shot, Mary. Right out.
Jane Hooper-Perot. Her husband, Pat Perot, here, part of the Ed Wernick team.
Okay, Jane.
That's good.
Yep. 24.
Kim Moore.
And the indication was to try and give this draw to the
Line
brushers.
straight.
A little bit short is okay. And behind the guard, if it finishes, is great.
Yep.
Just over. Slight. What's gonna split?
I like the,
Yeah, me too. 4 in the nose.
Haven't seen many hogged rocks here. Especially at the beginning of the game where the ice is sliding fairly well. Sometimes late in the evening, we get a little bit of pebble flattening out, and then you're finding some stones slowing quickly, but not usually this time of day.
But you wonder if you plant that seed, eh? I'm going to give it to you now. I'm going to take something off it.
It is an indication that the players are still struggling a little bit. When you look at the percentages, the takeout percentages are considerably higher than the draw. There's just not that feel for some of the players as yet.
The rub on the way by straightens it out.
Board.
Forward.
Kim Moore and her second stone.
Never.
Marilyn Bodogh has the hammer here in 5 of a 3-3 tie.
No.
It's pretty soft.
It's that outturn going away. We talked about in the reading the ice segment that around the 4th or 5th end or 6th end, it seemed to really get very straight this morning.
Like that? Same way.
I think the main thing is, even if you have the same ice later in the game, you're not going to probably miss those shots, but if you have that release, that it all goes outside the target, and it is, as you say, Ray, getting a little bit straighter, then you're just lost. The sweepers, of course, can't help out. A little bit inside, and they can hold it.
Yep. Still got room. Yep.
Corey Beveridge.
Yes. Hurry! Hurry! Hurry, Jane! Come on, get it by, get it by, get it by, get it by, get it by.
No.
Whoa. All right. Give her more
Too
ice.
close.
She's sliding too
Close. Well, the first one she was tight. The second one she was pretty good.
Yeah, but she's missing that time.
I know.
Oh, no.
Laurie Eddy.
Very little ice on this shot. Broom on the edge of the stone.
Whoa.
She's still going for plan B, which is the front one.
I was going to play the hit and roll because it was staying out. Okay.
Updating the game between Connie Lalibert, Shannon Clybrink as they play 3-2. Lalibert leading. Final stone for this team from the Calgary Curling Club, former
That's a tough
Alberta
spot.
champion, looking for a hit to score a couple against the Canadian and world champion, and she does. Shooter will stop in time, edge of the 12-2 for Clybrink. So these two teams have traded deuces 2, 3, and 4, and now it's Clybrink in front 4-3.
Looks like a lot of weight. Yep.
Wait only, lots of room.
Room. Close, yep. Room.
Lots of room, wait only.
Top, come on, bring it in, come on, hard. Hurry.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, sledging out. Yeah. I'm not.
Same way. Yes.
Laurie Eddy
Whoa.
here in the 5th.
Whoa. 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 Hey.
Let's come off the back of that
That's a
one.
good shot.
That's a very good shot.
You like that?
Hit and roll or draw?
I think we
Hit or
gotta play
draw.
that. All right. Throw 12.
Playing the curling turn, the in turn.
Yep. Whoa.
Kim Guillard.
Whoa. Yes. Yes. Hurry, Jane. Your side, Jane.
Whoa, whoa, good shot.
Nice shot.
Roll in front. Covers half that stone, sitting T-line, 4 foot.
We had to play that,
Why?
you know?
What do you think?
Just normal. You do the double or an inside roll. Just a little last, Laura.
Allison Goring and the first skip stone
Yep,
here in
yep.
5.
Whoa. Whoa.
Trying the double.
Yep. Yes. Hard. Whoa.
Run it back. Catch it. No.
Just come up at the end.
Still fairly
Just come
quiet
up at the
weight.
end.
And at the end of the path of all of those takeouts, if you throw that kind of weight, it will make that little move, and it makes it a little harder for the line calls.
Sure,
As we've
those
said,
calls.
Ray, if you watch them, some of the men that throw the big weight, they can just put the room right where they're going to hit the stone and throw that big weight, and it won't move at all.
That was getting us to center line in the beginning of the game.
Okay. I can hear less. That's good. That's good. Top 4.
We were giving middle of the 8 to center line in the beginning of the game. Do you think it's come down? Yeah, no, the ice. Yeah. Top 4 is good. Right in.
Jane on the left getting ready with a stopwatch to check the first split to see if the weight looks close.
Oh, it's got something.
Yes.
It's got something.
Right out of her hand.
Yes, line.
Got something.
Hurry. Hurry.
13.5 is the right weight, but line is critical here.
Roll it, Jane. Roll it. Roll it. Roll it. Roll it. Roll it.
The weight was fine.
Now ticking over that center line
Right out of
guard.
my hand.
Like that here.
What happened?
It right under my hand. same thing again. It was almost as if the, like I felt it going when I went back like that. I thought it was just because I felt it lots of times before. Shoot.
Like, make sure you clean the rim.
I did.
Like you go over it with your finger?
I did. I always do.
Back 8. So I can get back 8.
Bad luck.
We just want it up high though, eh? Just
Too bad.
like half in the 4.
Big chance now for Allison Goring.
Line
Taking over
Lots
that
of
center
room.
line guard. I guess Linda allows her now to get to that one at the back.
Whoa,
Well,
lots
she's
of room.
able to come in, certainly.
Whoa,
Lots of room.
Easier path.
whoa,
Lots of room.
just for weight. Light's
be
great.
Gotta be here. Come on.
Come on.
Great.
Hard.
Oh, boy. So hands the chance
How come
right
you guys
back
were
by coming up
sweeping?
light.
How come you weren't sweeping? No, we were just going for line, not for weight. He's got to be there.
He's going outside 12.
Yeah, that was definitely just a brushing communication error. I mean, it was.
And if the ice is changing at all, which of
Her
course we
sludged
can't really
out,
tell
too.
from those, Marilyn's talking about it, but if that is the case, then Ray has made the point several times, if you're on the brushing early, if the weight's at all close, that's what you have to do. And then at the end, if it can slide a little more easily, you can lift up a little bit on the brushes, a little less pressure.
Looks like it's flattening out in those areas a little bit right now. They seem to be digging
Little
in
less,
pretty
Cam.
good.
Yeah.
That seemed to be sliding okay halfway down the ice, and then it just, as soon as it started to curl, and that, of course, with the big swoop, it does slow it up a little bit too.
Final stone of this 5th Maryland Bodogh. It's a draw for 2.
Lots.
Full 12
wait.
for a pair.
Just wait. Yep.
Yes,
Hold that
line.
line. Yes.
Hurry, line.
Yes, line.
Boy, look at that go. Man, can they get it by their crush in front?
Jeez.
Wow, that is a big second point.
One.
Maryland Bodogh. She thought she'd lost a chance with her first one. But then Allison Goring came up light, handing the chance right back, and Bodogh fails to take advantage. Just one. It's a 4-3 lead. Bodogh ahead of Goring in a must-win for both these teams here at these Olympic trials.
They didn't touch that. They didn't sweep it.
Mary Bowman,
They said we're saying whoa.
Jane Hooper-Perreault are the leads. Kim Moore and Corey Beveridge at second. Laurie Eddy and Kim Guillard throw third stones of the skips Allison Goring and Maryland Bodogh. Well, thank you very much. Glad you do, and we're very pleased to be here at the Keystone Center and these Olympic curling trials in Brandon. A reminder, that's hockey with Dave Hodge coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Gord Miller is in New York City as, guess who's back? Mark Messier and the Vancouver Canucks make their first trip into New York as Messier returns to Madison Square Garden. That's hockey with Dave Hodge at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Updating now the game between Kelly Law and Mary Mannitol as they play the 5th end. It's 2-1, Mannitol leading. Final stone for the skip from the Richmond Curling Club. You see Mannitol is shot stone, top button. And this is the final stone for Law, who is 3-2 against Mannitol, 1-4, slides too far. Steal of 1 for Mannitol, and a 3-1 lead as they go to their 5th end break. Shmeller and Sherek as they play 5. It is 4-2, Sandra Shmeller ahead of Sherek out of the Granite in Saskatoon. Shmeller on top of the standings at 4 wins and 1 loss. Sherek lying 1. Biting the top of the button. This is a draw for 2. No mistake by Sherek. She'll pick up the pair, and they're all tied. It's 4-4 as they go to their 5th end break. Now let's go live to the game between Kathy Borst and Ann Merklinger as they play 5 in a 2-2 tie. This is the final stone for Merklinger out of the Rideau Curling Club in Ottawa against Borst from the Otwell in Edmonton. And this is a quiet tap back for a potential 4.
Wall, clean, clean, clean.
Roll it,
There
Hurry.
A little rub helps because it'll slow it down and you can put them on the board. 4 for Mercklinger. Here in 5. And a 6-2 lead over Kathy Borst. Both those teams 3-2 coming into this 6th draw of women's play at the Keystone Center in Brandon, where Bodogh leads 4-3 over Goring. Welcome back to Brandon and the Olympic curling trials here on TSN. 5th end break is over. Bodogh with 1 in the 5th, leading Allison Goring 4-3 as we begin play here in the 6th. Allison Goring out of the Bayview Country Club with the hammer against Bodogh from the St. Catharines Country Club.
We want it above the tee. Okay.
Nice shot.
Well, still struggling with the draw weight. You see the 2 guards in front. Jane Hooper-Perreault on the Bodogh team was the first to attempt the come around, and it slid right through the house. That gave the Goring lead, of course, a chance to play the come around, and it's a nice shot, but a little bit deeper than they wanted.
Where is it? No line.
Bodogh second, Corey Beveridge.
He's playing the freeze to it.
Short's good.
It's to it. Better. It's probably back line. Maybe just on the draws.
Yeah!
Just here.
Watch the
Back line.
Hey, let's go, Kim. Back line.
Just quietly, she says.
Clean. Yep. Whoa.
Kim Moore.
Whoa. Whoa, right up. No, we can't. Okay, that's good.
Nice shot.
Linda, let's take a look at the numbers after 5.
Well, the numbers are interesting because they're probably a little lower. We've seen some misses in the last few ends. There was the 1 steal when Allison Goring didn't get the roll she wanted, but remember, Marilyn Bodogh missed an extra point in the last end. But see, the hitting percentage for Goring and overall all percentages a little lower than you might expect. And now we're seeing them struggle a bit with the ice, with the feel, and even the line on some of these. So there is a nice hit and roll. That's the kind of shots they need.
Corey Beveridge with the hit and roll. Goring, though, playing the Redstones, does have the hammer here in this 6th.
That was a great roll. You can see Allison trying to line up the angle
Can you see all of that?
for the raise.
Okay, hack weight.
When there's those mistakes made, a couple of brushing errors and maybe the wrong ice even in the last end, it's these kind of shots that you have to come back with now this end and try and feel the confidence come back, because sometimes when you start struggling like that, it feels like a real uphill battle.
Kim Moore will try and get some of that confidence back right here.
Right off.
No!
Okay, Kim, that's fine. No. Sit. Okay.
All right. All right, out front.
Kim Guillard.
Easy. Mine's good.
Easy. Easy. Yep. Oh, yep. You see me get by. Come on. Right up. Okay, Kim.
Pretty good guard.
Now, you said the key might be at 3rd.
Well, the matchup, I think, is really important. You can see at this point, Kim Guillard is really out-curling Laurie Eddy, and that's, to this point, the difference, really. A little communication problem last end with Allison's team on the brushing, but I felt pretty strong about the fact that these 2 players would match head and head, and Laurie was going to have to, whoever played the best was going to put their skip in the good position.
Hard! Hard!
Laurie can help out the skip right here.
That's a very good shot. I got it off the
Helps out a lot.
forefoot. You bet.
So Kim's chance to answer back. And this one, they need a little bit of the corner at least covered because they don't want to leave a hit and roll possibility for Allison Goring's team.
Hurry! Room! Room! Yep! 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 Room! Yes!
Beveridge, Jane Hoover-Perreault.
Hurry! Hurry! Whoa! Whoa!
Got it by. Yep.
Shot, Kim. You're sweeping, guys.
Super shot.
Just there. Just tap it a little.
Kim is playing very well, but watch, she's losing her balance a little bit. Just stop it there for a second. You can see she's good and square, and the arm is straight, but she's been making the, when she first makes contact with the ice, she's been having a little bit of balance problem. But this is an excellent shot. Good mechanics. That's what you do sometimes when you think you're inside. You kind of lean to the other side, hoping that it's...
Oh, no, no, no. No.
Oh.
Right off.
No, Kim.
Off.
Trying to match it, Linda, here.
Never, never. No.
Trying to follow it down, but you can hear from them that she must have been a little bit outside.
No, there's no line. No line. No line. Okay, nice way.
There's that battle.
Yeah, just a little strong. A little less weight, and it's going to curl a little bit more. And it's
Nice
gonna...
weight.
What kind of weight?
Go hack here.
Do you like hack or do you want to throw more? It doesn't matter to me.
Well,
I just thought we could get a really nice roll with nice quiet weight.
Yeah, let's throw hack.
Hack the board.
Just hack weight, eh?
Going to hit with hack weight, move that out, and get the little roll over into this area here.
Marilyn Bodogh in her first here in the sixth. She leads 4-3.
Yep.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Whoa! Way out there!
How much?
Yep!
Whoa!
Yes, we're going the other way! Hurry!
Plan B, they're trying to roll it to the outside now.
Any roll you can, Corey. Any roll you can. It's okay. Good weight.
Well, gives Allison a chance to get out of this now.
Hack. Hack.
Just a case of too much weight for the shot, or is it running a little straight, Linda?
And if it does curl a little bit,
You know,
of
like
course,
this way?
It's normal.
you could hit it thinner and get the double.
No, last.
Well, you can see by
Last.
the ice,
Okay.
Allison thinks it's the very straight spot in the ice.
Yep.
Whoa. Close.
Close.
Yep. Hard.
Woo!
Whoa.
Woo!
It actually backed up off the stone on the button.
Too bad. Just had to come a little more.
Try.
They were off and
Oh,
on
come
it.
up there.
Allison thought it would move at the end and didn't move quite enough to get the proper action into the middle. And back it goes.
Actually, it was a good illustration, a good example, because you could see it never moved off that
Sure.
4-foot
Just
line
at the end?
in the last 6 or 8 feet.
Because it's running good.
Yeah, it hit really thin the way they were staggered.
Yeah, but it looked like it was coming up. You don't want to miss it.
This is
It's
good.
from there for a
We're running
second.
the line. Should have thrown the 8 the first rock.
Drawing in again, or trying to.
Top 4 guys.
Trying to come right in on top of it.
Why not play a hit on the redstone, which is in the 8-foot, and get the flip over?
She could. The flip is difficult from that position, and she feels it would leave an easier shot for Allison. She's trying to close down the house here.
Yeah, if she gets right in on top of it, she could really make this difficult for Allison.
Now they're brush. Corey Beveridge, Shane Hooper Perot got it by. No.
Light?
Little light.
No.
And she moved that yellow center line guard as well,
Light?
just a bit.
No, we clipped the guard and you ended up top 12.
Now, if she gets the movement here, she can just tap this back.
Just back 4 weight.
Back 4 foot weight, just tap it back to there.
For a possible 2.
Kind of a wonky line, wasn't it, Vic?
The ice is a little tricky. Maybe goes straight, maybe curls a bit.
Final stone.
Line's okay.
No.
Got
No
it, Bob.
line.
Whoop.
Close.
No.
Close.
Whoa.
Whoa.
No. 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 No.
It just sits right there. Watch the line. It doesn't move at all.
Wow. My goodness.
Vanilla.
The weight was perfect for the shot. It just wouldn't move.
Well, they keep trading chances back and forth and then failing to take advantage. That's a big mistake.
That's
By Allison Goring. Bodogh steals 1.
Yeah. But my rock.
The club seats here at the Keystone Center and an interested observer. There's Kevin Martin. His wife Shauna is right beside. He lost today to Kerry Burtnuck, and right now he's 2-3. We'll be back with you with the next draw of men's play, which is draw 6 for them. And the 2 teams are on top of the standings, both at 4-1. Ed Wernick from Churchill, Ontario, against Mike Harris from the Tam Heather Country Club in Scarborough. Updating now, Shmeller against Sherek as they play the 6th. Final stone for Sandra Shmeller, the reigning Canadian and world champion with a record of 4-1. It's a 4-4 tie as she throws her last stone. Joan McCusker, Marcy Gooderite, the brushers. Didn't move it enough. Need a little bit more. Had a chance for 2, settles for 1. And it's a 5-4 game. Sherek to have Hammer playing 7. Big mistake.
Every time you miss an extra point, I think it's a concern to you. You know, it's
Well,
you can see there, you know, Allison Goring, that was a hard shot because of the fact that it ran so straight at the end. We watched 2 or 3 shots come down there. Marilyn, she chipped the guard, so hers must have moved a little bit, but it was maybe a little less weight than she wanted. But when she chipped the guard, she gave Allison the chance to come down and tap that back for 2. So that's a golden opportunity that kind of slipped away from you.
it seems to be a real struggle right now for the skips to read the difference between the ice for draw, which does make a nice movement, and the ice for anything more than draw, such as tap back to hit. The difference is fairly extreme at the moment, which happens on ice. You get 3 feet of curl on a draw and only a few inches on a hit. That happens, but they haven't really found the place to put the broom for all the shots.
Okay.
Mary wanted to say hello to her fiance, Jim Chilvers.
Yep.
3.
Whoa.
Mary works for Ontario Hydro.
Nope, no.
Great shot. Hard, Al. Hard.
Okay.
Shot, Mary.
Very nice shot by Mary. These are the kinds of shots, the gentle tap backs, that the leads are being asked to play so much.
I think it is. It's sideways. They're tight, but still.
Corey continues to study engineering at McMaster University.
Yep. Yes! Hurry! Hurry! Roll it. Roll it.
Okay. That's okay.
She must have got that going
Yeah.
right away because the Maryland yelled right away. Threw it inside.
Okay, let's go.
And here is one of the few chances we've seen, of course, to utilize the corner guard that was thrown up.
Kim teaches grade 5 and 6 as well as phys ed at Senator Gibson
Just for
Public
Ray.
School in
Lots
Beamsville,
around.
Ontario.
No line yet.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yep, take it back. Yep. Okay, Kim.
Okay.
Just wait.
Shot.
Yeah, lots of frost.
Yep.
Am I talking about frost today?
Yeah, we mentioned that in the opening of the show. You can kind of see it out there, sneaking in a bit.
5.5. 12. Clean. Clean.
We'll see some of the teams switch then to hair brushes.
I think the ones that would switch have. I don't know if these teams even have brought extra brushes to make a switch. Some teams think it's a benefit to use the hairbrush to get down into the frost.
Right there.
Not really. No.
I think if you just see out of the corner of your eye, the Boers team have made the switch in some cases.
Synthetic brush of the Goring second, Kim Moore.
Mine's better.
Width's more.
Close.
What did straw do? What did corn brooms do in frosty ice? Anything? Right?
Well, when the ice was actually the
just
corn
wanna
used to get
freeze,
a
just
little
freeze
wet
on this
itself,
end.
and
Yep.
we would change
Freeze it for
brooms all
line,
the
yep.
time to make sure
Hard.
the
Whoa.
broom itself, the straw itself, wasn't too wet.
Good shot.
But it would work pretty well. You could hit the ice pretty hard and get the frost out of there.
The thing with corn that we don't see anymore, a corn broom, there's one. When it hit the ice, it also left a little bit of the straw embedded in the ice, and that made it curl a lot. And
We're
so
gonna jam.
sometimes you weren't really sure what the ice surface was like. It was different in spots depending on how much corn was planted into it.
There's no question that the chaff on the ice affected the running surface, but you could keep them. You could keep them going.
I don't
and
really like throwing to it. Let's just try and block.
Can you nose
something
it?
there.
I like hitting it. Can you nose it?
With 12.5.
How about we just play the nose? Throw 12.5.
Kim Guillard spent the summer working at IBM and now is back at University of Western Ontario and studying sociology.
Whoa. Yes. Whoa. Clean up. Hurry. Whoa. Yep.
They usually play about 9-second hits
Yes.
between the hoglines.
No.
That was a line call again that they made a mistake. They
Yeah,
lifted
Maryland call
very
them off
quick.
that, yeah.
Very briefly, but it'll make a difference. They were worried about if they didn't hit it right on the nose, they might jam onto a backstone, but I'm sure Maryland wishes she'd gotten it by now.
What'd you say? No.
Laurie works for the Bank of Montreal.
Mine's tight. Whoa.
And these are the decisions you have to
Kim.
make about where to put the next rock.
No,
Allison's
mine's
trying to
good.
protect the two in the house because they are grouped as opposed to going
Right
wide
up.
side open in the
Right up.
house.
No.
this is a good call.
No. Nice shot.
Updating the game between Kathy Borst and Ann Merklinger. Merklinger scored 4 in the 5th to lead 6-2 over Borst out of Edmonton. Both these teams, as we say, 3-2. It's a big game for both Borst and Merklinger. Final stone for the former Alberta champion. Makes the raise and scores 2. 6-4, Merklinger leading. She has the hammer.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. Hurry! 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 Hurry!
Oh, what a terrific shot this could be. Look at this. Got them all.
Shot, Kim. Holy shoot.
That was sensational.
Makes up for my boob. Makes up for my boob.
That's a shame.
Oh, jeez. Don't say that.
Sorry, I had to. Same way? God.
What a great shot
Lots
this
of
is.
rotation and good weight on it. Got everything moving.
It was just mental.
As Marilyn said, it was her mistake on the line call on Kim's first one.
Yep.
But no mistake there.
Yep.
Got everything going, and they're all spinning over there.
And it was really set up for Goring, who has the hammer here in the 7th.
No, line's real good. No, I don't want it deep, that's all. Yeah, take it for line now. Yep. Hard. All the way. All the way.
Hurry!
Nice weight.
Just didn't break for her.
Yeah. 12?
I was talking about the skips before the game, and both of them struggling, and until one of them breaks through,
Roll
we
wide,
still don't
eh?
know what's
Roll
going to
open.
happen in this game.
Yeah.
But you know, the confidence in them is not quite there from what we've seen in past years, and
Was
they're
Kim
just
close to 12?
missing those crucial shots.
No, no, no. On her first one. Okay. All right. Just 12. Lots of ice. No.
No!
Catch something? Nothing. But her own at the back.
That was big time weight too. I don't think she had planned on throwing that kind of weight.
Wide. Wide?
Oh, I just overthrew it. Maybe a little firm.
Oh, it was a big firm. That was a lot of ice, too. I mean, no,
No, it
for
wasn't.
the way I threw it,
You came out just off center.
no, I know that.
So again, it's a chance here
Just
for
top 12.
Goring to get herself
sort of
back
half
into it.
behind,
She
like
trails by
further
2.
over.
It's 5-3, Bodogh
Just
leading
let her know the weight
as we
'cause
play
can bump it
7.
a bit, too.
There's no question that
Same
the
way they
slide
put down
paths on
before
all the
we get it.
sheets are flattening out. And the rocks are digging in. It's warm outside, it's warm in here. So brushing the judgment early and dragging them is so important.
Lots of room.
Whoa!
Right here. Step.
Whoa!
Pull. Pull. Let it curl. Let it curl. Let it curl. Yeah, that's good. That's what we want. Nice shot.
Woo, God, I touched that. It's okay. There's somewhere.
A little less than I would have been okay.
How much, Jane? Corey? 3/4?
That's where I have to hit it.
Face. Yep.
Just there. Okay, I'll hit the broom this time.
Okay.
Just
Between 12 and 12 and a half. 12?
Just, yeah, just 12.
Can you get them both, or do you just want to cut them down and get rid of one?
She thinks if she just gets by the guard, she can make the double.
Okay, guys, I'll give you a chance here. Just 12.
Final stone for Marilyn Bodogh here in the 7th. Allison Goring has the hammer.
Should be about a 9-second hit.
Got them both. Great shot.
Perfect
Very
weight.
nice shot.
Well thrown.
To rebound after flashing your first one. Terrific shot by Marilyn Bodogh.
A triple and a double in one end. Nice shot. Thank God. Helps when you hit the broom.
Yeah, moved nicely. As she said, she was outside on the first one. If you up the stick, it comes over nicely.
Oh, no. Oh, oh yeah. I didn't hear
We
it.
needed to get as much to a face of it as we could, and I knew we were by the yard.
Well, that's why we got to come this way.
Allison Goring, final stone.
Whoa.
Yep. Hard. Hurry. Hard.
Roll enough to blank. No, it'll hang on to the 12 for one red, one for Goring. Bodogh has the hammer back. Terrific end, a couple big shots, a triple, a double, and she leads 5-4. Well, updating some of the other scores, Kelly Law scored 4 and 6 with a double race takeout, and she now leads Mary Mannitol. Shannon Clybrink by 1 over Lalibert as they play in the 7th, 5-4, the score there. Shmeller, Sherek as they play 7. Final stone for Sherek from the Granite in Saskatoon, and another indication of the ice.
Yeah, well, watch this. They got on it a little bit late, and watch what happens here. It comes into the slide path area, and it just stops dead.
Pauline Zilke trying to get out there as well.
They thought they had lots of weight at the beginning, and then just got in that slide path area and stopped dead, Vic.
Yeah, she needed full 4, steal of 1, 6-4 for Shmeller. And there you go. Thank you very much. Teresa Breen just moves out of the way. 6-4 Merklinger ahead of Borst as they play in 7. Those are all the scores now as we pass the midway point of this 6th women's draw at these Olympic curling trials. 1 for Goring, and she's within 1. Bodogh leading 5-4, and Bodogh from St. Catharines does have the last draw.
12 and a half, 13.
Well, neither skip has executed that well. We've seen the 2 enders were actually good ends and fairly well done, and the skips came through. The other ends, it's been mistakes more than great shots by the skips anyways that have been the story.
Merrill made an ace double there. Of course, we saw Kim Guillard's triple, which was fantastic.
Terrific numbers among both leads, Mary Bowman and Jane Hooper-Perreault.
Wait, it's okay.
Come on. Hard. All the way. Nice shot.
Shot, Kim.
Kim Moore gets it to bite the top of the 8. Corey Beveridge.
Yes! Hurry! Hurry! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Get a girl, Corey.
Consider them both. Center line guard.
Nice shot. Same thing.
Same thing.
Yep.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, both a little low, and yet both have made some big shots. Corey just made a lovely shot. And that's sort of what I'm talking about too, where it's not that they're not making good shots, it's the struggle. It's the miss and then having to make the huge shot, the double, the raise, triple that Kim had to make. the kind of thing we've
got
been
it out.
seeing.
I just thought she might be
No.
out with sticky stuff.
Okay, you can bring it. Yeah, take it back. Yep, take it back. Right back. Yep. Okay.
Okay, Kim.
Think so?
I don't think peel the guard. She's saying peel the guard. I don't.
You don't like this?
Oh. No, it's not like the 10th end or anything.
Or this?
Think? What? No, what? No.
Okay.
Like, why fiddle around with backline weights and guards and...
12 and a half.
The rock in the ring is wide open.
What's Kim's point about being too
Yep.
finicky and fiddling
Whoa,
around?
whoa.
Well,
Yep. Yep.
the rock in the rings is wide open, so you can hit it and get a little bit of a
Shoot.
roll.
Okay. All right.
I think Kim's also saying everybody is struggling a little bit, and why play the finesse shot that is a little tougher? Just try for the one that's a little easier even to ice, I think, at this stage.
Okay, backline.
Backline weight. Try and get the hit, little roll. This is the outturn that runs pretty straight down here, or we saw it without a lot of finish.
Yep.
Can't get it started. But
Whoa.
watch the edge of the blue 4-foot line.
Laurie Eddy.
Roll away.
Whoa.
Roll it away.
Okay.
Stays right there.
Do you like rolling behind the guard or open?
I don't mind that either. Let's roll here. Okay. 12 and a half skid.
Nope. Whoa.
Yep.
Close.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. No. Yep. Yes.
The weight's
hurry,
fine.
Hurry, hurry. Whoa.
Little roll.
Flip.
Right
No,
over,
the
right over.
outside.
Shot.
Good shot.
Yeah.
Updating the game between Borst and Merklinger as they play 7. 6-4. Merklinger leading. Final stone for the skip from the Rideau Curling Club in Ottawa. Two-time Ontario champion. Trouble struggling to get it by that guard out in front. And we've gone someplace else. We apologize for that. There we are. We're back. We can tell you she got 3. 9-4. Merklinger leading.
Yeah, it was a very nice shot. They've had a lot of rocks in play. Obviously, Kathy Borst trying to get back in that game. And it's sort of interesting because Kathy had an easy game her last game, and I did chat with her about that last night. And I don't find it easy as a player to have games where they're lopsided one way. If you're always in the game and out here playing and having to focus, I don't think it's necessarily bad. She said, oh, it's nice to have an easy one and a bit of a break. But sometimes the next one, you've really got to do a lot pre-game to get yourself prepared again.
Clean up.
Well, I think if you drag one game to the other, you're really in trouble anyway. It's you know, what's right for one person necessarily isn't right for the other, of course. And
Little up.
I heard Kathy say that to you, that she felt that having a game like that would be good for her. But
yeah, I could afford a
we
little
haven't been
roll.
watching that game. It looks to me like Ann
Playing
Merklinger
middle of
and
the rock now.
the ladies from Ottawa have really been curling well, because they seem to have had a lot of rocks in play. And
Normal. I'm just not sure how much the other way's really gonna go, eh? I'm not sure how much the other way's gonna go.
You saw the numbers on the 2/3. Kim Guillard certainly out curling Laurie Eddy.
Close.
As we play skip stones now here in 8.
Close. Close. Whoa.
Oh.
I really believed, as I said in my opening comments, that was going to be the matchup that would make the difference.
down.
Oh, if I roll top over there, she can still draw
Okay,
now.
so you're real negative there.
Because it continues to be a struggle for this skip. So if the third can make it any easier at this stage, it's probably going to be very big for the skip.
Give me 8.
Those guards have been there for the taking. Nobody has, though.
They continue to play this straight turn, and we've said sometimes if you're having trouble getting the roll, you might want to try the other turn, but Marilyn thinks she can
12.5.
throw pretty good weight and very tight ice and do it.
Bodogh, who has the hammer here in 8, and she leads 5-4.
Yes! Hurry! 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 Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Sorry.
Great
Wow, that's the roll.
That's good.
A little less brushing, it would have been perfect.
Just a hair more, eh?
Got a little excited on that
Just
one.
a hair more.
Sorry.
That's all right.
It's still a half roll, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's still
How
good.
much can you see? Yeah.
She can't get it inside. She's got to play the girl.
That's that straight spot that we've talked about. So they can see a little bit, but they don't feel they can get enough with enough weight to move it. So Allison's just going to play the in-turn draw.
That's such a tough spot there. Okay.
This is the straight spot we've
So
been
the other one was
watching all
top
along
12?
down here. So
Is that where it
it
stopped?
is
the draw
exposed a little
last?
bit, but Allison feels that with enough weight, she can't get enough weight on it to move it. So she's going to play the
little bit?
in-turn draw down in here.
Okay. 4 foot.
Whoa! Only if you need it.
You can go. Go!
No mind, but if you need it. Let's
Take
get
it back.
together.
Yep.
Gotta watch this path here now.
Line's good. Take it back.
They're worried about the weight. It's got enough weight to be there.
Yeah, good try. Good guys.
So the chance for Bodogh to pick up 2.
No, I thought it would. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just worried about the line.
Kathy's team's ticking everything.
Pardon me?
Kathy's team seems to be ticking everything.
You heard
Backline weight.
Allison. It's tough not to peek over at the other sheets, but talking about Kathy Borst and her team seemingly ticking everything. They're playing right next door.
A chance to tap it back, but this is that in-between weight, and that's why Marilyn was taking some extra time to put down the broom, figuring out the amount of ice needed.
Final stone here in 8, and a chance for
where's
Marilyn
it?
Bodogh to pick up 2.
No! Close! No! Nothing!
No!
Nothing! Nothing. It's got to cut big time. Nothing. We're on the yellow. Whoa. Whoa.
No, he just got by the yellow. And now you'll spin off. Goodness,
One way.
ladies, back and forth, trading the chances, giving away points, and now it's Bodogh's turn to give away 1 to Goring here in the 8.
To the 4, eh?
We're all tied 5-5.
Edge of the 4. I was afraid of that line.
Last rock doesn't mean
bad.
anything in this one.
Too bad.
Just a reminder, NHL Cool Shots today at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, immediately following our coverage of this women's 6th round here in the Olympic curling trials. Updating Lalibert and Clybrink as they play in the 7th. 5-4. Clybrink in front of Lalibert, who comes in at 1-4, former Canadian and world champion. The hit and the roll for the single point. They're all tied up 5-5. Lalibert, Clybrink to have the hammer playing 8. Shmeller, Sherek as they play the 8th end. Shmeller at 4-1, Sherek at 3-2. It's Regina against Saskatoon, provincial rivals. And Sherek, the former provincial champion, down and trying to get within one. Will draw the 8-foot for her single, but she still trails. It's Shmeller in front, 6-5 going to 9. Mary Mannitol from Halifax is in the hack playing 8. She scored 1 and 7, but trails Kelly Law 5-4. As we go all the way across the Keystone Center from sheet A, B, C, and now we're on sheet D in our featured game here in this 6th round of women's play. The steal of 1 by Goring, and we're tied 5-5. Bodogh to have the hammer.
Allison lying 1 at this point. Jane Hooper-Perreault hitting to lie 2 and makes it perfect.
Good normal. Good normal. A good normal.
Should these two teams feel fortunate, and in fact they're playing each other today and not somebody that's on?
Well, there's no question the two skips have struggled a little bit.
The ice has changed a bit.
Yeah.
We're talking about the fact that they're struggling also with putting the broom down, because after the last shot, Marilyn said, oh, it should have been less ice. She's just not sure where to put the broom. So it's not just that they're throwing badly, they're just struggling with all aspects of the game, it seems.
Okay,
and after every game, we've said they do shave the ice. It does change it a little bit. Ice makers always trying to make it the best they can make it.
12, 12 and a half.
Corey Beveridge.
Okay, Corey.
I don't think so. That one's on.
From Oromocto, New Brunswick, from Murray Arthur's the internet. I know that only the skip can sweep any rock behind the button. For skip, Stones is the 3rd, the only one permitted to sweep then.
No, the skip or vice skip can sweep behind the button behind the tee line. This is Canadian rules, of course, and if you're sweeping your own stone, the players that are sweeping the stone may sweep behind the tee line if they're carrying through their stone or a stone set in motion. So if it's an opposition stone, it's the 3rd or skip. If it's your own stone, it's one player. In this case, they could keep sweeping that if they wanted to behind the tee line if it's carrying through on a shot.
I don't know where it fell off of the...
That's not the case in the World Curling Federation rules.
Now then it's the acting skip, and it becomes very confusing. You have to stop at the tee line, and the skip has to run up and sweep, and then when they go to throw their first rock, it now becomes the person holding the broom for them.
Hurry, right up.
I found it very tough, actually, playing all year in one set of rules and switching, and that is, of course, what the winning teams here will face when they move on to the Olympics under full World Curling Federation rules.
Yep.
Now a rollout here is important either way. You got to hit and stick this. Otherwise, you allow Maryland to go around the center guard. The same is true when Maryland's hitting.
Oh,
Laurie Eddy. As we play 3rd stones. I'm sorry, Ray.
No!
That's okay.
Never, never, never. No.
Clean. Oh.
Good shot.
Just a reminder, we'll be back with you at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. That, not Easter time, that'd be Eastern time.
Well, sooner than Easter.
Yes, thank you.
We'll be back at Easter. Thank you for Christmas.
Ed Wernick and Mike Harris, both 4 and 1.
Clean it. Whoa, whoa,
Boy,
whoa, it's
you know,
good.
Christmas was so nice.
Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Nice shot, Kim.
Well, they're working the stone up the rings here, Linda.
Neither team wants to take a chance. Maryland looking, of course, it seems, to try and blanket now.
Yeah.
Nope. Whoa.
Just clean. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
No. Shot.
Laurie Eddy does her job and sticks around with both her stones.
It's important that Kim does the same.
Yep. Maybe down a little. Whoa. Whoa. Yes, yes, yes. Right up. Right up.
Shot.
Good sweep.
Clean it up a bit. We can go for a roll now.
Sit right there.
No, we can roll now.
Want it? Okay.
If you can.
Yep.
This time she's looking for the roll.
Just normal.
Allison Goring at her
Clean.
first.
Clean.
Close.
Whoa.
Whoa. Close.
Clean. Clean.
A good roll here will certainly
Whoa.
Yep.
put more pressure on Marilyn Bodogh if she is in fact trying to get out of it.
Hard.
Okay, nice shot. See any of it? Okay.
Having a look from the other end to see how much of the shot rock is exposed.
Tap at that, or out.
13, let's try and roll over here.
Yeah.
12 and a half maybe even. Hey, don't we want to get the long roll?
Well, that's 12 and a half to nose it.
You want
Got with
13?
13. Yeah.
Long roll wide, eh?
Bodogh will try and roll it away. Too late to try and generate anything for her.
There's how much you can see of it right there.
Get the long
Lures
roll
measure.
this way. No, no, no. No, no, no.
It's a good shot.
You like that?
Sorry,
Okay.
didn't know what she was motioning.
But if she's got the last rock, she's up, you know, it's 2-1 here. Too late to generate anything.
How's the
Well, they
weight?
went into this end wanting to try and blank, so she's going to try and stick with that plan. She could try to draw to it, but she might take a chance of not being able to get
Whoa!
the points.
This gives Allison a chance now to go around the guard.
13.
Remember, where's the ice that by the other one? That stopped.
Where'd you stop
No,
at?
give me just, remember the draw to the floor and it went top 12? They,
Oh.
give me just a tab more,
Yeah,
maybe.
sure.
She was going to say the one they didn't sweep.
Al?
Okay, top 4.
Nothing in the rings.
Card is quite long, just about fully on center line.
Line's good.
Yep. Line's good.
Line's good. Wait only.
Yep.
4 foot. Yep.
Yep.
Hard. 4
Just
foot.
for weight.
4 foot. Yep.
Kim Moore, Mary Bowman,
Hard.
Hard.
Hurry.
not giving up on this one now.
Good piece. Good piece. Good piece. Good piece.
Now they won't.
Holy.
Even a
That's
biter,
heavier.
if it was
It's
buried,
heavier
would have
out
been
there,
a big
'cause I gave
shot.
that the same, no less. Okay. That was great line. I know. It's just heavier out there.
No
Too
question.
bad. I thought that was in the rings anyway. Hey?
Well, chance for Maryland to blanket and hold the hammer coming home. And I think the 10th end will be very interesting considering the fact that these two skips are struggling.
Oh yeah, we're throwing this through.
So Marilyn Bodogh came in with a plan to blank the 9th and maintain control of the hammer, and she does just that. We're all tied 5-5 in a game both these teams want badly. They're both 2 and 3 here at the Olympic curling trials in Brandon. Play in this women's 6th draw here at the Keystone Center in Brandon. The Olympic curling trials on TSN. Updating Lalibert and Clybrink in a 5-5 tie as they play the 8th. Clybrink 3 and 2, Lalibert at 1 and 4, failed to get it going so far this week. Certainly one of those teams in danger of being eliminated early. They hit the stick for 1 for Clybrink, so she does have the lead by 1 going to 9. Shmeller and Sherek 6-5, Shmeller leading. And this the final stone for the skip from the Cali in Regina. Enough to blank, enoug to roll, and she'll stop. Edge of the 8 for 1, 7-5. Shmeller up, looking to go 5 and 1 and maintain first place here at these trials. The blank in 9 means that Marilyn Bodogh does have the hammer coming home here in end number 10 of a 5-5 tie.
And when you don't have last rock advantage, what is the one thing you absolutely positively need from your lead? You need it in a free guard zone area, and Mary's first stone was heavy, came into the house. Marilyn Bodogh was able to call Jane Hooper-Perreault to get rid of it, spilled everything. Now they have to hope this one stops short.
Yeah, you get with the free guard zone rule, with 4 rock, you get 2 chances. You can get 2 of them out there. And that's just a cardinal sin by Mary. She knows it, of course. And
Mary Bowman.
You got 15 feet to play with out there. You got to get it in that 15 feet someplace.
Now this is one thing that in the 10th end, the guard is nice and tight, but Jane has a chance to split it. We call it a tick, but when it's nice and tight, it doesn't matter if the opponent's stone comes into the rings. The crucial thing is to make sure it's off the center line.
Back line.
All right, Jane.
Almost perfect.
Okay.
Just think sometimes people worry about it splitting, making sure it's going sideways instead of in the house, as opposed to making sure they catch enough of it to push it over more. And that's something, as we evolve with these rules, I think people will get more and more used to.
Still don't see many coming across the face, though, as Steve Gould does.
No, actually, we see a few.
More and more now? Or is it certain situations lend themselves to different styles?
They do believe that that's a benefit because the rock that you're trying to push doesn't go as far. The shooter is the one that rolls further, and of course the shooter can roll out and there's still no penalty. So
No, just leave it.
And the tight guards, it's tough. It is tough to play them.
Okay.
Nice ways. Darn.
Peel.
Allison wanted that out in front.
Corey Beveridge.
Yep. No.
Wow. Okay, Corey.
Too bad, Jane. Just didn't cross, eh?
The last?
Same weight.
Your weight was great. Okay.
In behind.
I think she called it short again. I didn't actually see her point.
Line's good. Where's it? Yep. Room.
It's going right in, I think.
Going right in, you're right.
Room. Lots of room still. Yep.
Peeking in at the game between Law and Mannitol.
Right back. Whoa,
As
whoa.
they play
Good
in
lads.
9, 6-4, Law leading, and
Whoa,
this is
whoa.
the final stone of
That's
the
right.
end
Finish
for
up.
Kelly Law. Mary Mannitol from Halifax does have the hammer. Looked for the double, gets 1, and so it will be a draw for 2 for Mary Mannitol in a possible time game.
And we'll keep an eye on both of them for you.
Mannitol at 1 and 4 out of the Mayflower Club in Halifax. Kelly Law from the Richmond Curling Club at 3 and 2.
Kelly Law made a magnificent raise double takeout for 4. But in that end, Mary got caught in a sense where she played a guard on the rock that was eventually raised, where she could have drawn into lie 3, left the raise, and if Kelly had made the raise, she would have been making it to get 1. But there was a number of stones at the back, and it was one of those cases where I really think your best guard there would have been the 3rd shot rock. It was a wonderful shot by Kelly Law. Terrific. And it was really the ball game because at that time she was down 2 or 3. Chance for Mary to get the deuce here though and tie this game up, and anything can happen.
It would be a big win for Mary Mannitol at 4 losses.
Needs full 8 foot, close to the 4 foot.
Angie Bryant is the 3rd. Boy, and you know what? Who knows if that was in her mind, that exact play that you were talking about. Maybe a little bit the ice confusing her. She overthrows it, settles for 1 when she had a chance to tie. And so Kelly Law will have a 6-5 lead and the hammer coming home in 10.
Just short.
Yeah.
Well, a rock at the back of the 4 foot, full in the 8 foot at the 5 o'clock position, and Allison's asking for a stone just outside the rings. Just off the center line.
Marilyn had peeled off the guard that was protecting that stone, so Laurie will try and put
Bring
it
it
back.
tight. Right here.
Hard, guys.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, right here.
Clean it. Yep.
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 Right up.
Come on, hard.
That's good.
Good. Good brushing.
Marilyn is not as concerned about that rock in the back of the 8 foot as the guard. That's a
Yes,
very,
hard.
very difficult shot if somebody gets around it now.
Okay.
Kim
That's
Guillard.
good. Shot, Kim. Thanks.
Peeking in at Borst against Merklinger as they play in 9, 9-5.
tight, though, eh?
Merklinger leading,
Pretty
and she
tight.
has the hammer. This is her final stone.
And she certainly needs it here. There's a couple of bore stones in the 8 foot.
Whoa.
Audrey Frey, Patty McKnight. Sit right there for the single. It is. Heather Godberdson will check as well.
I think it's 1 bore stone,
I
actually.
think one red.
Good, guys. That's good.
We'll confirm and come back.
That's the best we could do there. I didn't want to get too close to that guard.
Looks okay. Whoa, whoa.
Down to skip stones here. Allison putting back the
Whoa.
guard.
Oh. Nice shot, Al. Just peel.
This puts Allison in not too bad a situation. Marilyn's going to peel, and
Peel weight.
if she peels it off, then Allison can come to the top of the 4 foot and make Marilyn's shot a little bit tricky.
And
Yeah,
Linda,
that's
you
good.
are right. It was a steal of 1 for Kathy Borst. So they'll go to 10 with Merklinger up 9-5.
peel weight.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Hurry. Hurry. Your side, Jane. Your side, Jane. Right over, right over. Great sweeping. Great sweeping.
Sweeping.
Right in the 8.
Shot.
Yeah.
Tell those guys.
Right in the 8.
Into this area here. She's
I
talking
don't need
about.
much more because you guys didn't touch that, eh?
As long as she can't hit it.
Top 8.
Force her to draw.
Right in the 8. Not too deep because we don't want to give her an easier double, eh? So.
She says even biting the 8.
If it crosses center line a little bit, Maryland will be in that piece of ice that they've had trouble with, where it runs straight for a while and then it moves, and she racked on a guard earlier, so it would be a tougher draw for Maryland.
Careful, top 8.
No question you want to make her draw if you can.
Hard.
They want it to cross center, though.
Right up, right up.
Here it comes.
Right up.
Now it'll stop there.
Now they left what I consider the easier draw now.
Yeah. Dug in a bit there, eh?
Well, it's in curl. Play the draw.
You could bring it right into the 8 foot, full 8 foot. They swept it all the way, though. In fairness to them, I think they brushed it all the way, so.
So a draw for the win. Maryland Bodogh here in 10. In a game which has seen two skips struggle badly, handing their chances back and forth.
Sometimes you say you're in the zone. Sandra the other night said sometimes the house looks big, sometimes it looks small when you're trying to draw to it. Just lacking the confidence, it seems, but just needs almost 4 foot, biting the 4 for the win.
Both teams trying to avoid dropping to an early 4 losses.
Where's the win?
We're talking about 13 and a half seconds, maybe even 14 seconds out there.
Clean! Yes! We got the backing. We got the backing.
Okay,
Yep.
it's heavy, but they're saying that it's going to go to the backing, so it should be fine.
Okay, Maryland.
And thank goodness for it.
Game, Laurie.
For the 1 and a win by Maryland Bodogh, 6-5 over Allison Goring.
Thanks, Laurie.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Kim.
Bodogh now is 3-3. Goring drops to 2 and a big 4 losses.
Try to be a little deeper.
That's 1 game complete.
Gathered. Hi, Greg. Hi, Chris.
4 more games here in this women's 6th draw in Brandon. With our featured game over, Bodogh a winner over Goring. We'll turn our attention to Shmeller and Sherek as they play 10. Shmeller up 7-5 over Sherek. And a little crash in front will cause Sherek all kinds of problems now, because she had it set up ready to possibly score 2 and tie the game.
Yeah, she sure did. Yeah, she gets anywhere to the rings, even if it's not buried, it doesn't matter. She had to get it to the rings to lie 2. Now Sandra hits and sticks here, the game is over. You got to hit and stick, though, otherwise you leave Sherry the chance to play the split.
The nose even. Make a play. We gotta stick around somewhere. Yeah. Up nice. Right up the stick. Nice and clean.
Sandra Shmeller, who came in leading the standings at 4-1. Sherek at 3-2. Joan McCusker, Marcy go to right. Need to stick around. And they will.
The shot may be there what Sherry's looking at. There's no question about that. And sure can't blame her for trying it. She wants to come down here. She has to hit this yellow stone right here, drive it onto that one, removing that one. And then the shooter, because you're hitting it on that side, will come off the back of this, and it could come into the rings here.
For two.
Score two.
Yeah, no harm in trying, eh?
Might as well throw it, that's right.
Final stone for Sherek, who won the Saskatchewan Championship in 1996. Colleen Silke calling it.
It's a nose hit.
And she'll drive it by, and Sandra Shmeller will win it. 8-5, the final score. And the defending world champion now goes to 5-1. Sherek, with the loss, is now 3-3. And off we go now to Borst and Mercklinger. 9-6. Mercklinger ahead of Borst as they play in 10. After the steal of one by Borst in the 9th, Mercklinger does have the hammer in this 10th end.
What? I don't think it's tight enough.
With control, it should be okay. Just watch it doesn't back up on us.
I think so, because I feel like it's just...
Teams now trying to keep pace with Shmeller, and one of these teams will be able to do that. They're both 3-2 coming in.
Control.
And Mercklinger out of the Rideau Club in Ottawa.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa.
Oh, right on! Whoa! On!
Finish.
Nothing.
Well, they were calling out earlier that maybe they should be rushing that to try and get the back one.
I know. Yeah. That's okay.
Borst needs 3
Same
to
ice.
tie.
She's just going to hit the open one anyway, so...
Kathy Borst, the 2-time Alberta champion in 95 and 97.
Got lots of room. Whoa! Way out! Take it back now!
I don't understand. That was Kathy's last shot?
Mm-hmm.
No, I thought it was the same. I like it.
What would you have done?
Well,
No, we're not playing
she's
it.
down 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We can't hurt it, guys. We're third shot. Hey?
So
she's third.
We're not, we're throwing
Well,
it
don't you
away.
have to hit
you'll
the
hit the third shot.
third shot and roll over?
in.
Yeah. You're sure, eh?
No, that's the thing.
Actually, Teresa, just draw.
I don't. I have absolutely no. I don't understand that at all. I mean, I thought Kathy would have.
Did they just miss that?
Well, she would have. If she could have played that outside yellow one and rolled over, she would have been lying 3. They may have been all open, but I mean, we weren't on that game, so I thought she was only 2 down, but she's 3 down.
No, but the third shot indeed is that one in the 12-foot at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
Good game, guys. Thank you. Good game.
Thanks.
I just didn't understand.
No doubt now. So she give up the steal at 2. And
That one over there.
yeah, well, there you go. She didn't even look at that one over there.
Yeah.
Kathy Borst saying she didn't even see it. She steals 2. It'll go into the book as a 9-8 win for Ann Merklinger here in this 6th draw. And more importantly, she's now 4-2. Borst is 3-3.
My gripper there, Katie? Can you bring my gripper back?
Marilyn Bodogh is a winner to improve her record to 3-3 with a win over Allison Goring. And Marilyn is with Linda.
Marilyn, some days it's a little bit of a struggle. Both skips today, in fairness, struggled.
I think it was a team struggle. Thank God the team played really well in front of me because I just wasn't hitting the broom and throwing the right weight, but that's what it's all about. And we made the draw when we had to, and I, missed a lot of draws that I normally don't. So just one of those mornings. Thank God it's only a 1-game day.
I have played you a lot in the past, and I know draw is your strength. Is it the ice, the stones, or just the feel not with it this week?
No, I don't think, it's the ice or the rocks. We knew what we're playing with. I had a real nice cutter with my second stone, number 8, and I just didn't come up with the draw. It's the feel and the throwing don't match because you got frost coming in, so you think I just put that a little extra, and Shorty's ice just slides. So, we just got to have top 4.
So it's hang in there time. Any thoughts about the rest of the week, what it's going to take to be there for the playoffs?
Well, it's a dogfight, and all the rest of the games are going to start tightening up. All the teams will start jockeying for position. You're going to have draw, one team fall down, and, it's the same old. So you just got to stay tough, and you've got to focus, and you've got to be there when it counts.
We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Linda.
Vic?
The game between Kelly Law and Mary Mannitol as they play the 10th. 6-5, Law at 3-2, leading Mannitol at 1-4, and it is Law that has the hammer.
Boy, does that draw for the extra point in the 9th end stand out now, Vic. You would have been tied up coming home. At this point, Mary Mannitol is lying 2. She's got 1 on the button, and there's a long guard out in front, covering the stone that's in the 4-foot. The rock you're looking at, you can see the second shot rock.
You remember that last stone of Mannitol in 9, she was heavy in the draw for 2.
A long guard out in front. Out there,
yeah, it's
covering this
that hole, yeah.
This stone here. This is the second shot rock. This is the one that Kelly just put there. That's third shot rock. And so now the decision, where do you put this next one? You could try and come down into here yourself. Remember, there's a guard out there, and sit in here and take a chance at maybe winning this game. Kelly would have the tap back on of her own. She's made a couple great tap backs. You could play another rock out in front. It's very difficult to get in. Play the rock.
She's going to play the open shot for the tie.
Let's guard.
I think you're right. If you guard, then she's going to play the wide open one and go for the extra end. Boy, that draw to the rings now is a big shot, Vic, as I mentioned just a moment ago. The one in 9, which would have tied this game up.
We're sitting 2.
You see, if you play the guard out here, you heard one of the team members say, well, she'll just hit this one and play for the tie, and she might even get fortunate with the double. So you could, if you wanted to come right in on top of this. Now, we don't know exactly how much room is over there, but it looks like there's a little bit. I think I would be tempted to try and come right into the top of the 8-foot.
That guard is just to the right of center. Quite a long guard, lots of room to come around it. I saw Kelly, of course, preparing herself for what she might have to face.
There it is. There's the situation. It looks like you could draw around that guard, Linda, and get right to the face of your own stone. If you ever did that, yeah, it looks like, now we don't know how it curls. We haven't been on this sheet at all, so we have no idea, Vic, but it looks like you might, if you just get it by that front long one, you might be able to get right to the face of your own. Boy, then you're really in good shape. The Kathy Borsch shot still mystifies me.
Yeah, I was downstairs, but I did see it, and hitting second shot, I guess, was what you were thinking of. Well, moving.
Well, she was she had to hit the second shot rock and
to sit three.
To lie three.
I don't understand it
But
either.
she said after she didn't even look at it.
Oh, she
right?
Didn't even look. Yeah, she said I didn't even look at that one over there. So they missed it altogether.
She's played the guard.
You know what, though? With that amount of curl, that shot you're talking about coming through that way and down that 4-foot may have been there.
Well, as I say, we don't know the ice, but she missed the long guard by a foot and a half. So you knew that Kelly Law was just going to play this shot. She's going to take the second shot. If she makes the double, she wins the game. If she doesn't, she'll go the extra end. You could have also come, and looked to me like you could have come to the top of the 4-foot with the in turn as well.
It looks like it for sure.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, you could have come in this way here, right to that area there. She played the guard, the yellow rock you're seeing out in front. I don't understand that either. But having said all those things, we haven't been on this sheet ice-wise. So.
Make the double for the win. She's up 6-5. Kelly Law looking to go to 4-2. By, catch the corner, move it far enough.
Great shot.
You betcha. Terrific shot, Kelly Law for the win. Kelly will score 2 for an 8-5 win over Mary Mannitol, improving her record to 4-2. Mannitol drops to 1-5. And one game remains here at the Keystone Center. One of the 5 in this women's 6th draw. And in this one, it's Shannon Clybrink who leads 8-5 over Connie Lalibert, playing 10. And Lalibert out of the Fort Rouge in Winnipeg does have the hammer. And this could be it, running them out of rocks. And it is handshakes as Lalibert will go down to defeat former Canadian and world champion. 8-5, the final score, as Clybrink goes to 4-2. Lalibert goes to 1-5. We'll hear from Kelly Law. She's a winner when we come back to Brandon. Well, it's all finished now in this women's 6th draw here at the Keystone Center, and updating it for you, Law wins 8-5 over Mannitol to win her 4th. Clybrink wins Lalibert. It's a disastrous week for the former Canadian champion. Shmeller is on top of it all, beating Sherek. 2 teams struggled, and it was Bodogh using the last rock to win against Goring. And Mercklinger, after Borsch seemed to go to sleep and miss a potential shot that would have lined her up for a 3, Mercklinger wins it 9-8. Kelly Law is among the leaders at 4-2 of these Olympic trials, and Kelly's with Linda.
Well, Kelly, I think most people at home know that your coach is my former teammate, Lindsay Sparks. I think you have to take it a little bit easier on Coach.
Poor Lindsay, she's hopping the boards every end, and that's what the 2-minute break is good for, when your coach can come down and talk about the shots.
You made a couple of big shots, one raised double for 4, and then of course the last rock you had to double for the win. Wonderful shot. We're gonna have a look at it. You can tell us about it.
Sure. This was in the 5th end. Was this my double for 4?
No, this is the last rock.
This is the last rock. Oh, okay. This is the exact same shot that I threw in the 5th end. Same line, same weight. We knew it, and there it is.
Were you a little surprised that she didn't bring another rock into the house? We weren't watching the game enough to know if the ice was conducive to that, but it looked like she could put a little extra pressure by bringing another one in.
Well, she talked about nosing our red rock, and if she did make that shot, it might have been tough. you know, we would have had a heck of a time getting to the 4-foot. But so we're glad that she played the guard, because we had that shot in the 5th that I knew the ice. So I'm glad she played that.
Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to the rest of the week.
Thank you.
Vic?
So one team remains on top of the standings through 6 rounds of women's play, and that is the reigning Canadian and world champion, Sandra Shmeller at 5-1. 3 teams are at 4-2. Law, Merklinger, Clybrink. Bodogh is at 3-3, as well as Borst and Sherek. That's a big 4th loss for Allison Goring, and then Lalibert and Mannitol are at 1-5. Here at these Olympic curling trials from Brandon. We're already looking forward to tonight when we join you at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific. They are both on top of the standings at 4-1. Wernick, Ed, Harris, Mike. Just one will be alone in first place after that. Just a reminder, coming up at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, NHL Cool Shots here on TSN. Now, on behalf of Linda Ray and our entire crew, I'm Vic Roeder. Thanks for joining us. Canada's most comprehensive curling coverage is here on TSN. Stay with us now for the number 7 8-ball challenge, already in progress.